guys, and welcome to another episode of the Five Random Futbol Guys on the newly branded, pretty excited for us, on the newly branded Five Reasons Football, part of Five Reasons Sports Network, of course. We only have four of us today. We have Manny in the background producing, and Royal, unfortunately, is not here. He has other important things to do, I guess, instead of talk soccer with us and learn about the beautiful game. But that is okay. It is fine. We're going to carry on. We have a lot of good UCL action to talk about. We're going to get right into it. Boys, you guys doing good? What's up?
Hey, my team's going to finish top of their group and no issues, so I'm chilling.
And I know Martin's watching Boca in the background right now, so if you hear anything from him in Spanish, it's probably we'll figure out if it's bad or good. I'm not sure.
Right now, it's like watching water polo. Boca and Inter are 0-0 in the Copa Libertadores round of 16 first leg, and they're playing basically water polo because the field is drenched. But Boca so far is playing very well. I'm optimistic. We need to score on the road, though. I don't want a 0-0 tie going into next week. So, by the way, the Copa Libertadores champion is gone. An upset by Racing yesterday at the Maracanã. And the Copa Libertadores hasn't had a repeat champion since 2001 when Boca did it against Cruz Azul. Can you imagine that happening in the Champions League? 20 straight different champions? That's crazy.
That would be very... That would. I like that. It's kind of like MLS. Yeah. There's no repeat champions, which I think actually this year.
Comparing them.
No. I'm not talking about quality. I'm not talking about anything other than repeat champions here, Martin. Relax. It's okay. But I think Seattle.
It's just blasphemous to compare the second most important continental competition in the world to the MLS. Come on.
Oh, okay. I'm going straight over to Paul. Paul, you doing everything good, man?
Chilling. I wish I could share Kai's confidence in his team and mine, but life is different for me, and I'm mad and disappointed in Madrid, but life goes on.
All right, we're going to get into Madrid, but first we're going to talk about Group A. We're going to go by groups here, talking about Champions League, the situations, everything that's going on. So on Tuesday, there were two games in Group A, obviously. Lokomotiv and Salzburg, it went 3-1 to Salzburg, and then Atletico and Bayern was a 1-1 draw. Bayern somehow escaped from with a point, I should say. The group is not over, but it's over for Bayern. They are going to finish top of the group. They have 13 points. Atletico has 6. Salzburg has 4. Lokomotiv has 3. Who plays next? Is it Atletico and Salzburg? Are they going to play for a spot? Yeah.
So, Atletico goes to Salzburg, so if Salzburg wins, they advance. And I wouldn't be shocked if there was an upset. I mean, Atletico was playing an alternate side from Bayern, which had Thomas Müller and not much else. So I consider it a failure that they couldn't beat the B team from Bayern Munich when they needed the most. So both Madrid teams are in serious peril, but Atletico should be able to pull through, at least with a draw.
Kai, what did you see from the Bayern game against Atletico that could tell you something more about this Salzburg-Atletico matchup?
João Felix just had a great game against Bayern, and his teammates let him down. I mean, I don't think I could stress that enough. Some of the things that he was doing, obviously it's against the Bayern B team, as Martin mentioned, but still, like, some of those guys, I have my own things with Bayern, playing David Alaba in the midfield obviously didn't work, but it's like he was just having a great game. He was setting up teammates really early on, honestly should have put them up like at least 2 or 3-0 going into the half, should have been that score line, and they should have just clearly been through. In both the games against Salzburg, they were competitive with Bayern, and I think that, as Martin said, I wouldn't be shocked if they won against Atletico next week. It wouldn't shock me at all. If you can't come away, Bayern was starting one of their youth players for the first time in the UCL, and he didn't really have a great game. Nicolas Sula hasn't been fit for a while. He didn't really have the greatest game. Left back, Lucas Hernandez, I think he's been playing pretty well. At right back, Bonu Sarr was just awful. And really, funny enough, it wasn't good until Chris Richards came on, at least on that side. You weren't getting anything out of your attackers. It took, you were only up 1-0 when you should have been at least 2 or 3-0 at the very least. And on top of that, you give away a pen after Thomas Müller comes on, I think 67th minute or something like that. So he came on late, and you're giving up shots to him. He's going through the holes in your defense, which, if anyone told you about that Thomas Muller doing that like 2 or 3 years ago under a different coach, you would be like, you're talking about him from 2014, 2013, not 2020. And then he goes and wins a pen and slots it past Jan Oblak. I would be severely disappointed if I'm a fan of Atletico Madrid and like just upset. Like most likely, like it's not that far out of the realm of possibility for the young players at Salzburg to pull off the upset, especially at home. Like even there's no fans, but it still kind of matters a little bit when you're playing away and at home. And I wouldn't be shocked.
Keep in mind,
Go ahead.
keep in mind that Atletico in La Liga, they're second with 7 wins and 2 draws in 9 matches, and they have only allowed 2 goals in 9 matches. They have scored 19. So we are not talking about Real Madrid or Barcelona here. They are the most potent and defensively solid team in the Champions League group stage out of Spain, and that's why to me they're the most disappointing as far as their performance in the group stage so far.
It's just shocking.
It is shocking.
Like honestly, I like. Of course, I'm a Bayern fan. And I want them to win, but watching it, I was just sitting there like I couldn't believe it. I was just like, how is this game not put away already? Like it was just. I mean, Bayern started Javi Martinez and David Alaba in the midfield. Clearly did not work. So David Alaba and Pini Zavi can shut up and stop asking for that. You know, Mbaye did not really have the greatest game, but you're not expecting that out of a youth player. But Nuasar didn't play well because you didn't have Benjamin Pavard. Lucas Hernandez is playing at left back because Alphonso Davies is injured. Like all these things, you didn't have Lewandowski, Alexander Nubel. I thought he had a pretty good game, but he's starting a goal, not Manuel Neuer. Like all of these things, no Goretzka, no Kimmich, and you couldn't walk away with 3 points. I'm annoyed, and I'm a Bayern fan.
And you came out with a draw.
Yeah,
secured the group.
But not even annoyed about Bayern. Just I'm annoyed with Atletico. Like they should have. And again, it's like everyone let João Felix down. Like he was tearing through Bayern's defense. Like he was making all the plays, and they just let him down. Like missed shot after missed shot. Like they let him down.
So we like to do predictions here. I like to do predictions anyway. Are Atletico going to escape then? Are they going to find this form? You think Salzburg?
I think Salzburg are going to win next week 1-0. Honestly.
Wow.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they lost. But obviously I think it can go either way, but I think Salzburg win 1-0 next week.
I think Daka is getting healthy again, so he might actually come on and start up front for Salzburg. So that might be a key for them. He came on. I think he got subbed on in the Locomotive game. I don't think he had that much of an impact, but they did win 3-1. So, Paul, do Atletico escape?
I agree with Kai. I think Leipzig finds a way, and I think Atletico didn't look particularly good outside of Felix as well. So I was starting to watch just because Felix was running circles.
And it's funny to see like these teams compete well competitively in their respective leagues. Like you can look at Marseille, who's doing really well in Ligue 1 right now, and then when it it doesn't translate into Champions League. It's just totally different. And I guess Atletico is the same way. You said they were 7-2 with 19 goals scored, 2 goals against, no losses in the league. I think they're in second, right behind Sociedad and David Villa. But it's kind of funny to see. Martin, are Atletico going to escape?
Yeah, I don't know why Kai and Paul are so pessimistic. They're still Atletico Madrid, and the experience and just the sheer amount of quality that they have in their squad is something that you can't discount. So to me, Atletico with a healthy Luis Suarez, they win 2-1 and they go on to the round of 16 where the real Champions League starts.
Okay, I think I agree with Martin here, but I think it's going to be a really close game, and then if Atletico go up early, I think Salzburg are going to go attack on all fronts. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. All right, Paul, this is your time to shine. We're moving on to Group B here. So Real Madrid lose 2-0 to Shakhtar, and Mönchengladbach lose to Inter 3-2. Now the group stands at wow. So Mönchengladbach's at the top of the group.
Bundesliga represent.
Mönchengladbach's at the top of the group with 8 points. Shakhtar have 7, Real Madrid have 7, and Inter have 5. I think Manny might want to say something here. I'm not sure.
No, it's me.
Yeah, are you interjecting here to say something about your team?
Yeah. No, listen. This is the only thing I'm going to say.
You're having some audio issues there, Manny.
Connection.
And
not
now
working
you
in
froze,
your
and it's
favor.
hilarious.
All right, let me
He
listen.
froze, and his granddad chin is showing. That's hilarious.
All right, let's get him out of here. He'll be back. Paul, what happened with Real Madrid here, bro? What happened? 2-0. I was at work. I saw this. I saw the first goal, and then the second goal was really nice. What happened?
Oh, there's Manny.
Oh, there's
I'll let
Manny.
Manny take this.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, if you guys followed the thread that I was doing during the game, I said it quite obvious, right? That Schalke was going to do the exact same thing that they did to us in the first game, was just sit back, let us possess, try to wing it out, trying to see if we can do any damage. Which Asensio hit the post the first couple of minutes, and then Benzema actually showed what we were missing, right? The possession up top and being able to widen it out and being able to carry the play. But what's been happening the whole season is that we're not finishing, right? It's like we're waiting for the whole line to move forward, but yet we don't have that Cristiano Ronaldo that can create that one-on-one chance and shoot it from outside the box. We don't have, I hate to say it, like a Gareth Bale speed that can beat it one-on-one on the wing. It's basically like the trust in Vinicius is done, right? Like he didn't even start the game. They brought him in. He was not even visible. And Schalke just did what they do best against us this season, right? They wait back, they let you possess, and then they counter with them young guns. And the way that they were listen, they got through Real Madrid's defense and midfield in 2 to 3 passes. In 2 to 3 passes, like every time Schalke had the possession, you see 3 Real Madrid players trying to get the ball back, and all of a sudden the ball, after 2 passes, it's already past midfield and going the other way. And it's just like Nacho, like, come on, dude. Like, how much is he really going to do? And Varane just doesn't work well without Ramos. Just does not work well without Ramos. And, frankly, maybe this is what Real Madrid needs, a wake-up call to realize that the guys that they have right now, listen, they're old, they're not getting any younger, and they need to somehow, some way change up their game plan because, you beat Barcelona, but that shouldn't be the bar this season. That shouldn't be the bar at all.
So one thing I found interesting before I let Paul go here, Zidane said after the game, we can talk about Zidane if you want to, but Zidane said after the game that he had his own game plan and it was working until they gave up the first goal. They said after the first goal, the whole game changed and we just weren't able to finish in the beginning and it just really screwed everything over. So after the first goal was conceded, they could not find themselves, I guess. I don't know if you can agree with that, but
I don't agree with that because I feel like the first match went the same as yesterday's match. We overpossessed. We kept trying to figure out what to do with it once we, had about 5-10 passes in their side of the field. I mean, what game plan? There's no game plan. I don't know what game plan you can say that was working. What, you hit the post once, you possessed it twice outside the box with Benzema, and then he found Asensio. Listen, it was quite clear, right? It was Benzema and Asensio. That was the offense yesterday. You had Lucas Vasquez, God bless his soul, right? Trying to play right back and trying to move forward like he's Marcelo. And then all of a sudden on the counter, he's nowhere to be found. He's all the way on the other side, like, oh, do I go back on defense? Oh, no, it's okay. Nacho and Varane have this, And then you look, the second goal, the first goal, right, was so clear. You had about 4 bunched up Real Madrid players, and you only had like Varane back there. You had Modric, Kroos, I think Nacho and somebody else, right? They were chasing the ball. Yeah. And Schalke had the ball already, basically in the box of Real Madrid. And you look at the second goal, it's unbelievable. Like your lines are all effed up. They're messed up already. It's been like this for a while. It's the same movie over and over and over again. So he can say, well, the game plan was working. Yeah, the game plan was working if you were winning. You didn't score. So the game plan didn't work. This team beat you at home already. So a Real fan would have wanted a much more better start, much more better, I guess, energy-wise. And it just seemed like it was the same thing. Let's possess it, let's sing it to the sides, and let's see if somebody wakes up. And if nothing happens, well, it's okay. We have possession. No, man, you have to go out there with a set mentality, and you got to change things up. This is not going to work anymore. It's the same movie that teams are watching. It's the same way that people are going to play you. Off the counter, off the counter, off the counter. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like something drastically needs to happen, and maybe this is what needs to happen for him to wake up and be like, you know what? Like, you know, I bought myself some time, which I think he did because he won La Liga last season, but we're not gonna win absolutely Jack shit playing like this.
And
All right,
that was
boys,
sessions
I'm
of
out.
therapy with
All right.
Manny Chan, sponsored by the shittiest team that you have ever seen. No, but really, let's look at Group B because there are interesting tiebreakers in play. The tiebreaker is in goal differential.
Nope.
It is
No.
head to head. That's why Shakhtar is second and Real Madrid is third right now.
Yep.
But let's say that Inter beats Shakhtar and Real Madrid ties with Borussia. Then Real Madrid advances because they both have 8 points, but Real Madrid beat Inter in both of their face-offs. Now, if Shakhtar ties with Inter and Real Madrid ties with Borussia, then it's Shakhtar that advances despite their paltry goal differential. And there is no excuse because you lost twice to a team that lost by a global of 10 to nothing to a second tier German team that currently leads the group. So I know that Manny is in a sea of woe in this 2020 between the coronavirus, Peru, Real Madrid, and the sheer fact that life is unfair right now. But you know, it's just the way it is. It's the way it is. Life
Oh,
is
man,
unfair. It's just it's just a bag of juju at Manny's door. So, you know,
Oh my
Okay.
I say
God.
let's
So-
just go on to Group C because, like,
Well, I want to hear what Paul has
we
to
don't know,
say.
we don't know what we don't know in that group. Making a prediction
Well,
is,
tell me.
I think it's futile because
Okay.
Real Madrid is playing so badly and Inter is so infuriating and Shakhtar is so Shakhtar that anything that we say prediction wise is
It's
just
wrong.
gonna at least come out of my ass. I don't know about your asses, but my ass is very much there as far as pulling things out of it for Group B.
Okay, so I'll just say this. I'm going to ask Paul this one question. I'm not going to
Okay.
say make any predictions. What
Okay.
do Real Madrid have to do against Mönchengladbach in the last game? Other than win,
God.
Yeah.
how? What needs to change from what we saw against Shakhtar in
They
a
need to have
in a
real-
tactical sense?
They need to just have a real game plan because I think Martin alluded to. I mean, not Martin. May alluded to it too. Where like I feel like when I watch the team, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. Like they're a good
Hey, I
passing
allude
team, but like
things too, okay? I allude to a lot of things.
yeah,
I allude to
like
random things, some true things, some fake things, some random things, but hey, I allude the shit out of it, okay?
like they just don't have like Benzema is like their main striker, but I just feel like he's not the guy that will create for them. I don't trust him trying to create. I mean, obviously he's not a CR7, but you know, it just it just seemed like I don't know. In the second half, Varane just caught on to the Black Beatles challenge, and he was just doing that the whole second half, where he was literally just
Oh
ball
my
watching.
god!
Like like just watch the last line of defense was not physical at all. They literally just watched the passes go, and it was annoying. Like it was so weird, just because Varane, without Ramos, Varane is I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing, you know. And it's amazing that I mean I'll allude to some positives where Asensio definitely provided a lot of energy. He was definitely great in attack. I mean, if he converted the couple of chances he had, I mean, it definitely would have helped. Modric is definitely not 35 years old. I don't know how he plays with so much energy still. It's nice to see Odegaard kind of being like he's kind of showing his talent, and he's like the next in line for for that midfield. But man, there was just Rodrigo didn't really do much. I mean, other than when Rodrigo doesn't score goals, he doesn't really make a huge impact on the games with them. But man, it was tough to watch. I mean, Courtois was still having his struggles. I mean, he had that bad game with Alaves over the weekend. It kind of just poured over, and and now Zidane is on the hot seat. But apparently, somehow the players and the board still have his back. But it's honestly just the same quality team as like the past 2 years. Like I mean, if they're winning games or squeaking by, they're not really. I don't know. They're kind of just lowering the bar. Kind of. I don't want to say playing down to the competition, but they're definitely not separating themselves from the competition. They're not excelling. They're not dominating. I don't. It just needs to be. I don't know if it's just a personnel thing or even a game plan thing. There's just. I mean, I don't. When I watch this team, I don't get excited anymore. That sounds really deep and sad, but it's just it's I don't know. I don't know, man. There's
Speak
still
your
a lot of
truth,
things.
Paul. Speak your
No,
truth, man.
it really is. Like I kind of just feel like, even with Hazard got hurt early in the first half, but I do feel like deep down they kind of signed him just to be the savior to replace CR7. Like they kind of wanted the Hazard from Chelsea, where like he'd be able to create for himself. He kind of be that, I guess, that kind of late attacking midfielder that can push the tempo and distribute if needed, or he can score by himself. But
Yeah.
he's kind
That's
of
hilarious. You don't replace Cristiano Ronaldo. You can barely hope to emulate him, much less replace him. So no, there is no replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo. It will be
Oh.
like the Lakers. It will be like the Lakers replacing LeBron,
He just doesn't.
or the Rockets, or the Rockets trading Russell Westbrook. Oh wait, that happened. So
Oh wait,
that
yeah,
actually happened though. But no, but I feel like they did place a big responsibility on
Goal!
Hazard, but they can't expect much out of him.
Go,
And I
Yoka!
don't know. And look,
Tevez!
we might see them in the Europa League next year. And Martin, so
What a nice celebration. Tevez just celebrated the goal. Boca is winning 1-0, and he took off his jersey, and underneath it was Maradona's 1981 Boca Juniors jersey with the number 10 in the back. That was awesome. Boca is winning. I don't care about anything in the Champions League anymore. I'm happy.
Oh my god. Okay, well, with that said, we're gonna move on to Group C, probably the most boring group that we have here.
Do we even need to talk about
Listen,
Group C?
City and Porto advance. It's that simple. I don't think that anybody can overtake anyone here. I think it's 1-2, and that's the way it's going to be. City's the number 1, Porto's number 2, Olympiacos and Marseille were very disappointing. I mean, Marseille more than Olympiacos, but Marseille was very disappointing. You wanted to see a French team maybe do good, but we all know about that league and how it's quite the farmers league. Okay, so we're going to move on to Group D super quickly here. Okay, so we have Liverpool at the top of the group. They have secured first place with 12 points. Now, Atalanta with 8, Ajax with 7, and a team that is from Denmark that I cannot pronounce is in last with 1 point, so they're kind of irrelevant, and they play Liverpool next week. But the game to watch out for...
Midland.
Yeah.
That's how I pronounce it. Midland.
Midland.
I
There you go.
graduated with a degree in journalism and Danish. And by Danish, I mean the Danish, not the actual language. I mean the Danish.
The actual...
the actual Danish. I graduated with it. So
Martin,
I can't wait. I can't wait for that match. Atalanta Ajax. It's gonna be awesome.
Atalanta Ajax is going to be a great match. I don't remember the result last time they played. If anyone could remind me, I can try. And look.
It was Atalanta 2, Ajax 2 in Italy. This time they're going to be playing in Holland, in the Netherlands.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
The referee showed the yellow card to Tevez for taking off the jersey and honoring Maradona. What kind of a soulless person are you, referee? Stop it! You are a soulless person and you have no empathy. You have no idea. That was a sweet moment of recognition for the best player of all time. And Tevez got a yellow card for that, and Messi got a yellow card for that also after he did it on Saturday. That's bullshit. I don't appreciate it. And both refs can just go kick rocks. Just no. That was bullshit. I can't tolerate that. That was the lack of humanity in this match is intolerable. You know what? The ref is clearly rooting for Inter, and he's sad about it. That's all. But I can't believe it. No.
So Group D. So Group D.
No, just no. I can't believe it. No.
Group D. Atalanta.
I'm saying that I can tolerate it. I'm saying it.
Listen, Atalanta are not the same exact offensive firepower team that we saw last year.
Would you show Papu Gomez a yellow card for honoring Maradona?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, Martin. Not me. Sorry. Oh wait. Hold on. Andres is in here saying, Martin, I don't think you're gonna like this. It's the rules. Oh, they need to change the rules. Okay.
No. Don't give me the rules.
Referees can still.
This was an honor moment for Maradona. Everybody has done it around the world, and for him to show a yellow card, that's bullshit. Andres, you don't get the show. Okay.
Isn't that the Le Batard line? Isn't that the Le Batard line? You don't get the show. Oh my god. Okay.
It's our line now. Okay.
It's our line. All right. Fair enough. Okay, so Atalanta, look, they're not the same firepower team that we saw last year. They're sitting 8th in Serie A early on with 9 games played. I think they were at the top most of the time at last season. Not number one, but between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of last season, it hasn't been the same. Ilicic hasn't been the same after his whole thing last year. I will say, I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing better. But he was in a bad mental state, and the offensive firepower from that team has not been the same. Ajax, on the other hand, a lot of players come and go from Ajax. It's always an opening, revolving door, and somehow they manage to keep on making noise in European competition. It's pretty amazing, and for them not being in,
it's outstanding.
It's the best. I won't say the best in the world, but it's definitely up there, and they produce a lot of talent.
Would you say like them and La Masia Academy, like probably the two?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
That's the two that I think of. Like Ajax, their youth academy's been producing for years, and then of course like La Masia Academy produces. Like that's just.
Manchester United Academy produced Mason Greenwood, so you can put them up there.
Anyway, don't even.
Who the F is that?
Oh my, Manny, go back to work, Manny. Go back to work, Manny.
Yo, he's outside right now.
He went outside just to get on me about that. All right, so Atalanta Ajax, it's going to be a very fun game. It's going to be a game that I'm going to be definitely watching on my big screen, because usually I have to have the CBS All Access thing where I have like 4 screens on at the same time. Then I'll have one on my TV. So whatever comes on my TV, I hope it's Atalanta Ajax. It probably won't be.
It's on next Wednesday in the primetime slot. So you're gonna have to choose between Atalanta Ajax or actually no, it's in the early slate. So you don't have to choose between Group B and Group D. It's in the early slate.
That's good.
You have Group A and Group B in the late slate, and Group C. Group D in the early slate.
Yeah.
So that's
okay.
That's gonna be
Perfect.
good. By the way, I have to go in 3 minutes. So let me tell you. Let me riff. But actually, wait. There's a free kick for Boca. Let's see what happens here. Cardona is about to center the ball. This is really important. That this is like a momentous thing that's happening right now, and I know you all care very much. No, they didn't score, but no, that didn't happen. But you know what? That's life. Well, but let me tell you, the fact to me that besides Group G, that was a joke between Barcelona and Juventus, and Barcelona didn't even need Messi. I'm gonna say that Manchester United is gonna advance in Group H. So, I think that they're gonna squeeze out a tie in Germany, and both Red Bulls don't look at me like that. Both Red Bulls, the Salzburg and Leipzig, are gonna be playing in the Europa League. Now, is that relevant for people that care about soccer? Yes. Why? Because we want to see a Manchester United, Manchester City face-off. I want to see it. I'm craving it. I'm craving either City United, or Barcelona Real Madrid in this edition of the Champions League. I want 2020 to give me something. Well, it's going to be actually in 2021, but that's how 2021 is going to be. It's going to be a better year just by the fact that it's 2021. But I want to see like a derby, a clásico, something that will make my spirits soar. Because
something to make you feel as good as a Boca goal, right?
No, that's kind of like the best sex you ever had, but like repeatedly. A Boca goal is something you can compare, especially. And just so you know, I fully expect, considering the Copa Libertadores draw and how it's shaping up, and Boca winning in Brazil right now 1-0. I think that we're gonna see a redux of 2018, and on January 30th, 2021, it's gonna be Boca River at the Maracanã in Brazil's holy grail of a stadium. The two biggest teams from Argentina are gonna be deciding the South American Championship, and I'm gonna die of a heart attack, and you're gonna be to blame. Okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because I can't take it anymore. Like 2018 hurt a lot.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure.
There better be redemption, or you're not gonna see me anymore. I'm gonna grow a beard, be in a glass case of emotion, and just go away to where could I go? Like I could go to like Thailand or something, never to be seen again. Okay.
Thailand, interesting.
Go to Istanbul.
I could go anywhere, but no, I couldn't take it. And the fact that I can't trust any team in Riverside of the draw to eliminate them makes me think that we're gonna have another Super Clásico, and I'm gonna be really, really either like pumped up and happiest as I've ever been in my life, or distraught, and you're not gonna see me again. So just so you know, like I'm giving you 2 months, 2 months notice. Okay.
Okay.
Like, so just so you know.
Thank you
But
for the notice, Martin.
and yeah, because it's important. Like you guys gotta know, like if Martin isn't here on February 1st, 2021, you look at the time, and you're like, Martin isn't here. Why? Okay, Boca lost to River. That's fair enough. But it's not gonna happen. Boca will win this time because the coach is the same coach that won the last Copa Libertadores for Boca in 2007. The magic is back, baby.
Okay. Well, Martin, before you head out, I'm going to give you your respects for beating me in fantasy football this week. Congratulations.
Ooh.
7-5, baby, the most mediocre league in the land.
Yeah, it is mediocre or competitive. I would like to say competitive to make us look a little better, but it is a very competitive, mediocre league at the same time. We all have like these almost 500 records, and it's kind of crazy, but you put a lot of pressure on me to win next week, the last week of the season. So thank you for that, but congratulations on your win, sir. Go have fun, watch the rest of this Boca game.
I swept his ass, and he was
my
giving me
God.
shit all of last week, and I swept his ass. And we're probably going to see each other in
kick
the
him out.
playoffs. So I am going to say this. If you beat me in the playoffs, this sweep means nothing. Okay?
All right.
So, but so far, I have the advantage. I hope you make the playoffs because we root for each other here in the Five Reasons, Five Random Guys, Five Football, whatever you want to call it. We are there for each other. I'm sorry, Paul.
Right.
I don't know. Did you win, Paul?
I won by 9 points.
Do you
I don't know about playoffs, though.
do you still have a shot at 5-7?
No, I will be 5-7, but playoffs, it's a lot of things gotta happen though. So no guarantee.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy last week. All right, listen. Enough about fantasy football. We got to move on. We're using a lot of time here. Martin,
right, guys.
go watch the rest
vemos,
of your Boca
chicos.
game.
Have fun.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Good
See you
luck.
later.
See you. All right, we're gonna move into Group B here, or Group E. Sorry, I don't know why I said B. Chelsea, Sevilla, Kranjsador, and Rennes. The group is finished. Basically,
Yeah.
Chelsea are top of the group with 13 points. Sevilla have 10. Kranjsador with 4. Rennes with 1. Rennes very disappointing. I would like to see Camavinga play a little bit longer in European competition, but that's not going to happen. Giroud, 4 goals today. Left foot, right foot, header, and a penalty. I don't know if you can get any more. You can't really get better than that
Got
against
the hat-trick
Sevilla
of
as well.
hat-tricks, and
Right.
then the pen.
It's like a cycle.
And Pulisic also had a decent performance that I saw of. I don't know about you guys, but I think he had a good game. Both these teams are going to move on. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm not a massive Chelsea fan, so I don't want to give them too much praise other than Christian Pulisic. Sevilla, though, they're going to have to pick it up. I think the performance today was quite shocking for them. I don't think that they were expecting 4-0 in a loss. I think they knew they had a chance to top the group and completely blew it. So They will be playing harder competition technically because they will be playing a number 1 side going to the round of 16. But Sevilla have to step up.
Team, though.
That's
the thing. They're a dangerous team, in my opinion. Like I think, especially like I know even in like I don't know. There's a lot of teams that, as a Bayern fan, even like as the number 2 that finished, because I'm a little scared. Got to be honest. But Sevilla's a dangerous team. I wasn't expecting them to lose by the margin they did.
No.
I mean, when I saw, because BR Football, very biased, but they like to put their stuff out there. And when I saw the Giroud stuff, I was just like, there's no way. What the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked.
Yeah, Giroud did it all for Chelsea today, and it was shocking for Sevilla. I think they have good league form right now. I think they're sitting close to the top of the league, but like I said, it doesn't always translate into European competition, but they have done enough to qualify and move on. So good for them. But Jesus Navas got absolutely wrecked by Pulisic today, and that was very nice to see. I don't know if you guys saw that clip, but it was beautiful to see as a men's national team fan. Group F, Dortmund and Lazio finished 1-1. Immobile with a penalty against his old team. And then Bruges and Zenit. Bruges with a dominant performance over Zenit to give them a chance to move on to the round of 16. The team from Belgium has a chance next week against Lazio. I'm not sure where the game will be at. I wish Martin was here to tell me. But that is going to be a massive, massive game. Lazio, 2 wins, 3 draws, no losses. It's going to be in Rome.
Yep.
2 wins, 3 draws in their group so far. No losses yet, but Bruges are going to have to. Yeah,
love that comment. Thank you.
They are not wrong. I'm not a fan of BR Football either, but Bruges, Lazio. Immobile only got away with the penalty today, and that's how they scored. In Serie A, they have not been good. They're actually even under Atalanta, who is in 8th. Lazio are in 9th. Serie A has been a crazy league anyway, with Milan at the top and Sassuolo like in 3rd or something. So it's been crazy. You got to root for Zlatan. Lazio, listen, they had a lot of COVID issues early on. They weren't playing a lot of, Ilicic wasn't playing, and then you didn't have Immobile playing. You didn't have SMS playing. You didn't have all these guys playing because of COVID in the Champions League. So now they're in this predicament where they have to go against this hot Club Brugge team, who, if you aren't a fan of European football or like the Europa League or Champions League, you probably never heard of them. But when it comes to these competitions, they sometimes make noise. I know they've made noise against Manchester United before. And after this dominating win 3-0 over Zenit today, there's no way they're not going to have some kind of game plan going into Italy against Lazio, who, their players are back. The COVID thing is over, but they have not been able to keep that form up. And it's going to be another fun game. There's a lot of fun games. I'm going to keep on saying that because there's going to be even more that I'm going to talk about in these other groups. But another one to watch for to move on to the round of 16, Lazio and Club Brugge. Any thoughts on Lazio, guys?
I don't really have much. I was just I was surprised that with Erling Haaland out today that they weren't able to make a bigger impact against Dortmund. But Dortmund are doing honestly some shock. What is happening here? Doing a little bit of some shocking things to me as a Bayern fan, because they are kind of dropping off a little in the Bundesliga, but then they're top of their group. Although it's not the toughest group in the world. Usually when Dortmund has a group like this, they either finish 2nd or 3rd because it's just what Dortmund is. Unfortunately, too, I'm not saying that's right on them. I'm just saying unfortunately. But I just was expecting more. So just to make sure again, so it's Sergio Milinkovic will be there again next week, correct?
Yeah, he will be back. Immobile will be playing. Did I say Ilicic before? I didn't mean to say that. I did not mean to say that at all. But they will be at full strength. I think their keeper Strakosha is back as well. He played today. Or Pepe Reina, sorry. I'm getting these two teams confused.
You're good.
Luis Alberto, Lucas Leiva, SMS, all these kinds of guys are going to be back and playing, and they did today against Dortmund. You know what's interesting, though? If Dortmund beat Bruges twice, I believe, but they lost and drew to Lazio, so they don't have a tiebreaker over Lazio. I don't know if I'm thinking about the points here. Dortmund are 10.
They go through
no matter
what. Yeah.
Okay.
Because since Lazio and Bruges are facing each other, no matter what happens, like if Lazio win and let's say Dortmund somehow lose to Zenit, which would be shocking, then Dortmund would be 2nd, Lazio would be 1st. Club Brugge win, they would be 1st, and Dortmund would be 2nd. So really, it's just Club Brugge and Lazio playing for who goes into the Europa League and who doesn't. And I just accidentally kicked my camera.
All right, so now let's get into.
Whoa! Bring that back up. Wait. What?
Oh no! That's a troll. No, they're trolling. It's okay.
Yo,
Kai, don't hook onto the bait. Don't hook onto the bait.
I was about to Martin them. All right, like I was about to carry.
You have the power, Kai. You have the power in this. Don't.
Dude,
right.
Yo,
don't let yourself go.
I will take more comments like that just to piss Kai off. So keep them coming, please. Group G. Barca and Juve ran away with the group as we all expected. We never got to see a Ronaldo versus Messi matchup, and we won't. We might get to see one. Actually, we probably won't because they're already top of the group. I think Barca will do the same thing where they don't play their full lineup, but that means more time for Dest and Conrad de la Fuente, and maybe more time for Weston McKennie for Juve, who had a baller game today. Controlled the midfield in the game, was probably the best midfield player for Juve.
He's in great form right now.
He is in.
That release or that not that release clause, that loan to buy clause isn't. I think it's at 40 million. It's gonna by the time the season's over, that's gonna be a steal.
Yeah, it's gonna be a steal. I think it's gonna be a steal. I don't think there's much to say about this. I think they both had dominating wins. Barca scored 3 goals super early, and then other than that, the game was kind of boring from there on out. I had it on my TV. Don't know why, but I did watch it. And also I couldn't be asked to.
Another one.
Andres.
I'm not. Hey, I'm chilling. Look, Zlatan and Thomas Muller are my favorite players. So, You know, that's just what it is. My memory is watching Zlatan, you know, score that bicycle kick for Sweden against England, and I don't know. Thomas Müller is my favorite player. Zlatan's my second favorite player. So when Zlatan does good, I'm very happy.
Honestly, when my favorite memory of Zlatan is it kind of alludes to this right here. Is the brace in El Trafico in his first game? Yeah, that was just the greatest thing for him.
That was insane.
It was a great thing,
right?
What's up?
That was a debut too, right? In MLS.
Yeah, he was subbed on in like the 60th minute or something,
and he scored 20. And one of the goals was from like
40 yards out,
30 yards, like a half volley, dude. Oh my, not even right. That guy is ridiculous. All right, so the moment I've been dreading, guys.
I'm excited. I
have to talk about this. I have to talk about what happened today. Well, first, let's talk about Leipzig, Istanbul. We're going to talk about Group H here. 3 teams are tied on 9 points. Leipzig, Man United, and PSG. Man, the Leipzig game was very entertaining. It didn't go the way that United fans would want it to go. Leipzig with a really late goal here. I think I'm going to read you the goal numbers and like the minutes they were scored in. You'll see how exciting of a game this was. So Leipzig opened the scoring in the 26th minute. Right before halftime, there's 2 goals. Mukiele scores in the 43rd, and then Kvechi, never heard of him before, but he did get a hat trick today, scores in added time before halftime blows. So it's 2-1. Istanbul still want to be in the game. Then in the 66th minute, Olmo scores. 72nd minute, Kvechi scores again. 85th minute to make it 3-3 off of a free kick goal. Kvechi scores, beats the keeper, and it was a great free kick goal. Now it's 3-3. Oh my gosh, this game's going to end in a tie, except that it's not. 92nd minute added time. It was out of 3. I think they ended the game shortly after there. Leipzig get the winner late in the game. It was very, very fun to follow and watch. I got to watch the last 10 minutes, so I saw those last 2 goals. And it sucks for United fans, but we're going to discuss this. United lost 3-1 to PSG today.
Mm-hmm. Neymar masterclass.
Yeah, you can throw up the pictures. You can throw up anything you want,
the
man.
Memes, everything.
But listen, I don't think this was more of a managerial outclassing. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had this completely wrong. His in-game management was terrible. Especially so. Okay. Neymar scores early on. It changes the entire complexity of the game. But Rashford gets the equalizer, okay? Fred ends up getting this card, this yellow card for headbutting somebody, which it was a headbutt. But yeah. Okay, United fan here, I don't mind losing. We did deserve to lose. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer managed this game absolutely terribly. So Fred with this yellow card was it changed a lot because once Fred got this yellow card, the game got super, super chippy. He basically headbutted Paredes, and somehow they didn't give him a red. They went to VAR to check the red card, and they only gave him a yellow. I didn't know that was allowed, but I guess it is because it's a red card check, not a yellow card check. You can't manage the game from VAR. And if Martin was here, he would agree with me, but you cannot do that. Maybe you can add something like that, but that's not in the rules as of right now. So I kind of hated it. It should have been a red card, if anything, but it was yellow. But because of the yellow, the midfield and all the players from PSG were able to not necessarily harass Fred, but they were all over him the entire game and inciting this kind of chippiness in this game. And you had the chance to take Fred off and to not run into the situation where he would get a second yellow, but he didn't take him off. And he ended up getting the red because of a tackle, which actually was not a yellow card in my opinion. He completely hit the ball, but he did, slide in a little bit recklessly. Even though he did hit the ball, he hit his ex-teammate Ander Herrera, gets the red. And that was 1 minute after Diallo scores for PSG, and you're down 2-1. A minute later, Fred gets the red. You're 10-man down. The substitutions came late. Pogba came on for Rashford in the 74th minute. Rashford was our best player, in my opinion. Not even just because of the goal. He was creating the most chances. He was actually playing on the right side instead of the left. They had Martial on the left, Martial, I can get into so many things with this man, but he had a phenomenal season last year. But this season, I want to back him. I want to support him. I love him. I think
Hasn't
he's a
that
great
always
player.
been his thing? Like,
But he-
at least I remember, like, he'll have like one really, really good season, show something, and then next season is just not there.
Right. It's exactly what it is. And I don't think he's ever had like a mid-season turnaround or anything like that. I haven't seen that from him just yet. It's definitely not happening now. He missed an open goal in the first half, I believe. It might have been early in the second, but he missed a wide open goal from a ball from Rashford, who, like I said, was creating most of the game, and he could not do anything. I said it a couple times on the show before. Donny van de Beek needs to be starting every single game. Did not come on until the 79th minute. Don't know why, but he didn't have time to make an impact. And the only impact that was made was a Neymar 3-1 goal to ice the game. Ole had this wrong. And PSG's manager, Tuchel, whatever, however you want to say his name. Thomas Tuchel. He done it right. And his players were invested in the game. They knew what they had to do. They came into Old Trafford, what's not like a stomping ground anymore. It's not something that's not a fortress. It's not something, ever since Sir Alex left, it's never been like that. I would have rather this game been in Paris. I'm not going to lie to you. We play better in Paris. For some reason, the last couple of games we played in Paris, we have done a lot better. And I almost tweeted out saying that, but I don't know if I was going to get some hate for it. But if this game was in Paris, I think it would have been different. That's just my opinion. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had this wrong. And now we're going to go into this game against Leipzig, where you have to draw because the 3-1, the Neymar goal was crucial.
Yeah.
We won 2-1 against Paris in Paris. Now they come and win 3-1, so they have the head-to-head tiebreaker. Yeah. It's 1-1 on wins, but they have the extra goal. So now we're behind. If we lose and PSG win, we lose the tiebreaker, something like that. We will be behind PSG if we're level on points. We could be sent to the Europa League. So you have to get a draw, you have to get 10 points, and you have to just basically outscore Leipzig in points and in goals next week. It's very. Let's see what this says.
Leipzig would have to put on a masterclass, I think, in terms of, because they're down 2 goals in goal difference. It would, and I'm guessing Manchester still has that.
I believe we have the tiebreaker. We might have. We beat Leipzig. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so it essentially is just going to come down to whether I think there's still a chance that they can finish in the Europa League, though, if I'm not completely mistaken.
Leipzig or United?
United.
Yeah, I think there is.
They'd have to lose, and Paris would have to win, and then advance. Because
they beat. Oh my god! I just had it up. Where the hell did it just go?
Okay, if they win, they're in for sure.
Yeah, win or draw, they're in.
Yeah,
but if we draw too, because we'll be ahead Leipzig. Yeah. But if we lose and PSG, it doesn't. If we lose, we're out. Because it doesn't matter what PSG does. Yeah, I don't think it matters what PSG does. Yeah. No, that's not true because we have the tiebreaker over Leipzig.
The first game you beat Leipzig 5-0. So Leipzig would essentially have to
beat us by 6. Yeah. I mean, maybe. Okay, so it looks pretty secure, but you never really know. Obviously.
Champions League is
Let's see. I want to see. Donny signing is a Maitre Austin. Ole didn't want Donny. He wanted Grealish. I do agree with that.
I heard about that too.
I wanted Grealish as well.
Van der Beek.
Yeah. And I also really wanted
when you guys signed him.
But the thing is, Van de Beek has performed every single time he's come on the pitch. Every single time he's come on the pitch, he's performed. And he would be a perfect midfield pairing next to Fred I wouldn't say Pogba, but Fred, who is a defensive beast. You can have someone like Van de Beek who can play defensively, but also move forward in the midfield and advance the ball. He's not this number 10 that we saw. Like, he's not just this number 10 that everybody would like to say that they saw at Ajax. He's not here to overtake Bruno. He can play in a 4-2-3-1 as those two in that second midfielder role. He can absolutely do it, and he's shown it that he's done it this year. And for some reason, Ole shies away from him. Ole doesn't like to have the same starting 11. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't like to do it, and it's frustrating and it's infuriating. I did like starting Cavani up top, because his movement off the ball inside of the box is good. Rashford on the right side actually played quite well. Him and the Wan-Bissaka played well together, I think, on the right side, and that was nice. Martial on the left. It was just a bad performance. It was a bad performance. But the Leipzig game is going to be huge. And last time we played Leipzig, it was a Rashford hat trick in like 17 minutes, 5-0. And you're just going to have to do it again. You're just going to have to do it. And all the pressure is on. All of the pressure is
Yeah.
on, and I don't know how United's going to handle the pressure. You guys think United can do it?
I would love to see them fall to the Europa League just out of. I just like chaos. That's why. I don't think it's gonna. I think Leipzig will win next week, but I don't think it's gonna be by enough of a margin to push them through. It'll just have Man U go down to 2 and PSG up to 1. Because if PSG lose to Istanbul, that would be pure disaster class, and I don't think that's gonna happen. But in the lieu of chaos, if that happened, then obviously it would be a different situation. But I think PSG win. I think PSG win and Leipzig win. I just don't think that Leipzig wins by enough. But I just don't think that also at the same time that Man U will put the same performance from the round of 16 onward that a Leipzig team would put in my personal opinion.
Okay.
Just because I think that, I don't know, man, as you said, like there's just, I feel like the three of us are all plus Manny, in the background, just like all dealing with some of the similar issues. Madrid, it's do they trust like Zidane? What's the situation there? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I know I've been not with Bayern, but just ranting about Joachim Low in Germany. Like it's like there's these three areas where Madrid should be top of their league every single season, like top of their group, unless it's like a crazy group of death, and they should be 1 or 2 in La Liga every single year. Like Manchester United, you went from like this club that was just obviously it's still in the same kind of praise in terms of worldwide, people still think about it in that stature, but you're Manchester United. Like you're not one of these lower tier teams. You should not be getting outclassed like this. Like that's not what your history has shown, and that's not what your present should show or your future, especially when you're getting signings like a Donny van de Beek, who is super impactful, and you just don't play him. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. Nothing's been the same since 2013. Ever since Sir Alex left, nothing's been the same. And I mean, we dealt with David Moyes, we dealt with Louis van Gaal, we dealt with Jose Mourinho. I mean, it's just like Ole got the job because he beat Paris in Paris, right? And we moved on to the UCL quarterfinals where we lost there. But that was just so massive for the club, and it was like the biggest thing that we had in quite a long time, other than maybe an FA Cup win against Crystal Palace in 2015. But that's it. I mean, there's and a Europa League win. We won the Europa League with Mourinho, but there's been nothing that night was so exciting, and it was like, oh my God, Ole's got this. He can deal with the pressure. He can.
There's hope.
There's hope, right? Exactly. And it was like, look, oh my God, are Manchester United back? Do they have the roster finally? Is Pogba playing up to his standards? Rashford's coming onto the scene as a real-time performer. Like it all looked to be so good, and then now you go right back to mediocrity. When you look at the Premier League table, you look at it's mediocre, and you're not there at the top, even though the Premier League has been crazy this season. But
even with the craziness, you expect no matter. I feel like it's just like with Manchester United, even like as me growing up as a soccer fan, it's always been like they should be at the top. Like they should be in that top 4 at all times. Like even like watching the early, I guess whatever our age, like Arsenal, how they were playing, and now how they've been so disastrous for so many years now. It's like they should be under that same thing. Like you should be top 4 every single season.
Yeah,
like your club's history should be top 4 every season.
Yeah,
and you just don't do it. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Manny, you came in here. You have something to say, buddy, on Manchester United before I cry?
No. Listen, I think these guys are right. I mean, when I was growing up, there were, on 2 teams that I knew from the EPL that was always on top. That was Manchester United, and the other one was a little bit of Arsenal here and there, but they obviously lost the Champions League, and Manchester City, all of a sudden in the 2000s, late 2000s or whatever, they blew up and whatever the case is.
Oil money.
Just feels like the Glazers really like they lost track of things once Ronaldo left. Like that team to me could have stayed longer, man. Like Ronaldo and Tevez and whatnot. But I do understand it's a money business and players are going to move on. But I feel like ever since that happened, they've just been really like not cheap. But as far as being able to get the proper management at the top to search for players and search for the next coach, and you even said it, like I think that Louis van Gaal was probably your best bet, but even he had a terrible run.
Yeah.
And no matter what he tried to fix, no matter what players they tried to buy, because Manchester United obviously gave him the money, right? They said, "Hey, here's the pounds.
Sanchez,
Search
Di
for your
Maria, Depay, all these big Zlatan.
Perez, go and sign your guys."
Yeah.
And it has not panned out. So, and I think on our first show, in our first ever show, Martin even said it. There has to be something going on at the top when you have the money, you have the resources, and you're still Manchester. Like, people still, they know you guys from, all those days from, Sir Alex Ferguson. But at some point, what about the young Manchester United fans? They don't have really anything to hold on to. And right now, Ollie, instead of taking it and doing what he has to do to create once again that whole Old Trafford thing. Listen, when Real Madrid would go to Old Trafford, I already knew it was going to be difficult. We all knew it was going to be difficult. Bro, Zenit can go into Old Trafford, not saying now during COVID, but even before COVID, and they'll leave with a draw. When the heck? When is that?
Yeah.
When is that the standard for Red Devils fans? And Liverpool all of a sudden is up there. Manchester City has been up there. Chelsea has always been like this, and they're still up there. Tottenham will be Tottenham, right?
Well, they're Tottenham tops the league right now. They're playing very well. I will say that.
But to me, Tottenham is the same thing as an Atletico, and it's the same thing as a Borussia. They're gonna be up here, and at some point, some way,
except they'll never win the league.
That's my thing. So listen. To me, it just starts at the top, man. The Glazers got to find a guy that doesn't resemble Sir Alex, but that can get a coach that can go out there and just create the new, the 2020, I guess, scenery of great football, great soccer once again that Manchester United was known for, and it hasn't happened since they won the Champions League, the last time. So
agreed.
That was it.
Totally agreed. Well, listen. The Champions League is getting very interesting. I'm going to give you a couple teams that can be playing in the Europa League as soon as next week. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Ajax or Atalanta. You can look at Lazio, and then it could either be PSG, Leipzig, or Man United, all playing in Europa League next year. And the board won't do it.
That's what it is, though, right? Like, you'd want to listen to your fans, but you're not going to, because the Glazers have always been a stubborn group, and it's like no, we see things one way. And listen, we did it with Sir Alex, and that was one guy. You haven't succeeded in 7 or 8 since. Like, what the
like 10 years ago. Damn.
By the way, I mean, in all honesty, Austin, I think Fred is the worst United signing in history.
No,
Fred. I'm sorry. Fred, to me, the moment you bought him to do something, and he has not done anything positive in my mind.
Okay.
Maybe to you he has, but to me, the amount of money you paid and what he was supposed to do has not panned out.
The thing is with Fred, I think he was trying to use. Fred was not used in the right way when he first started. I think now he's finally being used in the right way as a defensive midfielder who needs to play in front of the center backs and win the ball back. Going forward, I agree. It's bad. I think it's very bad. He's not an offensive player. He loses the possession, and I think he was the reason PSG got a goal today. I think it was one of his clearances that went to I can't even remember, but one of his clearances went out and it went to another PSG player, and I mean it was just bad. But Fred, I think defensively he can be really good, but he needs to find a midfield partner. I would agree that Sanchez is probably our worst signing ever. Maybe Di Maria, maybe Depay, even though Di Maria had a couple good games, but there were a lot of bad signings. I think Fred, he is still the starter for me in the midfield. I don't want to say I would want to see him and McTominay together. And I don't want to see McTominay starting over Fred. I don't know who else I put there. I want to see Van de Beek and Fred in the midfield. That's what I want to see.
Van de Beek needs to start.
Yeah.
Right? Enough with this experiment of getting him off the bench and thinking that in 10, 12 minutes he's going to create.
No.
Unless your last name is Maradona, rest in peace. If your last name is Ronaldo coming off the bench, okay, one impact can create the score, but you can't expect a young guy like that leaving to try to find a new transition game with his new club, expecting 12 minutes out of him in a Champions League match. The man needs to play in these big games in the APL and start, getting get his feet wet and seeing that, one day this could be my midfield. This is why I was brought here. And when all is just, holding him back, the more he holds guys like that back, to me personally, the more difficult it's going to be for you to get results down the road because there's so many games left to be played. You got to play them. You got to play them. You know.
I agree, and we have to turn it around in Premier League. And if we end up going to the round of 16, you cannot continue with the same thing that we did against PSG. Yeah, McTominay, dude. He's aggressive. He's a big body, but he is just a completely squad player. He's not someone who you would see as a Manchester United every week starter. It's not what he is, and it's not what some of these players are. It's not. I mean, there's a lot of problems.
And to just say this one final thing: what if Cavani doesn't get that late game winner last week?
Right.
How are you feeling now?
Right.
It's once again the same issues that we were talking about before the break when you lost in Turkey, right? Or whatnot. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks, even a month, I think, or whatnot, you're back to the same issues. You know, it's the same thing with all these clubs like Real Madrid. You know what your issues are, but you want to be stubborn and you want to say, well, listen, you know, it is what it is, and this is how it's going to be. But I'm sorry, man, you're opening up so many more other negatives, especially from fans, man. And your friend is right. Like, even in Real Madrid, fans can bitch about anything they want. It's up to, you know, the Glazers, and it's up to Paris to make that final decision, unless you want to be the Barcelona side where for years they wanted to get this guy out. And it took for Messi to kind of lurk the way saying, hey, I might leave. Oh, no, all of a sudden he resigned. You know, it's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah, and all of our teams have been struggling. You can hear it here, but
Except for Bayern.
Except for Bayern.
Kai has nothing to worry about because Kai has to worry about Borussia Dortmund for like the first 3 months of the season. And that's it.
Yeah.
No, what's funny is I don't even worry about Dortmund anymore. I worry about Leipzig and even Leverkusen because even without Kai Havertz, they're still putting on some good performances. Also, just to put it out there, the Bundesliga has been very interesting this season. Last Saturday, it was extremely interesting. Max Kruse is playing great for Union Berlin, who were promoted last year. It's been pretty interesting.
I think we might be. I think at some point we can do like 10 to 20 minute like league specific shows if we wanted to do that, like updates or something like that. If you guys are down, I think that'd be pretty fun. But because these leagues are getting interesting, like Sociedad's at the top of the La Liga table, Tottenham's at the top of the Premier League, Milan's at the top of Serie A that we haven't seen in forever. Forza Milan, I love them. I'm so happy, dude. It's fun to see Rebic, Kahanoglu, and Zlatan. But yeah, all these leagues are getting they're getting crazy.
Barca's getting a little better.
Barca's getting a little better, but the thing is with United,
dude, I don't trust that coach, man.
Coleman?
I don't trust that coach in crucial situations. I don't trust that coach.
The thing is with United, it's been the same thing for however long I can remember. Like I became a fan when like a year before we won the league with Van Persie, and that was it. Now ever since then, I've had nothing. I've had to root for Rooney in a dying career, and I won the Europa League once, and that was about. Jose Mourinho. I'm sorry, we finished second in the league, and that was his biggest ever accomplishment. Like, are you kidding me, bro? I've had nothing. I don't know, man.
It comes down to finding a coach that fits for the team, and also one that, like, you know, even if it doesn't work for the fans, like at the same time, like at some point you have to worry about both. But like, I guess to relate it to like the Bayern side of things, it's like when Kovac was put in for, like, they were going through the revolving door after Jupp won in 2013 with the treble. Pep couldn't get past Real Madrid and all the Cristiano Ronaldo offside goals. You know, they couldn't do it with Ancelotti, could not do it. Then Kovac could not do it, and Hansi Flick was able to do it, but the stuff with Kovac was like, you had James playing good under Ancelotti. Ancelotti leaves, you come back, he's playing good under you. Kovac comes in, and the first thing he does is, all right, well, I don't need Thomas Muller, I don't need James Rodriguez, I'm going to start Quentin Tolisso in their positions, which doesn't work, and then he wasn't playing well, then he gets injured, and you had this person that they're like, oh, this is going to be the next guy, all because he was playing good, like he had Frankfurt playing good, and then they beat Bayern in the DFB Pokal, and then he becomes Bayern coach, but he just wasn't the guy. Like, in some of those teams, you need to have the coach that's going to be able to, one, control the locker room, and two, like, you have to maybe not care that much about what the fans are going to say. It's hard because it ultimately it drives your money, but at the same time, it's like, if you find a guy that you truthfully believe is the right one, and he's able to handle the locker room and handle all the star power, because you're going to have that with these big teams, and be able to control everything and put it out on the field, even if it takes right now, unfortunately, like a year to get it going and kind of get the people in, like you need to do it. You have at some point you have to kind of rip the Band-Aid off and go, if we need to make this transition, we need to do it because it's going to be more beneficial for the club in the future. You can't just sit there and continue to have media. Well, maybe they will, but like, you know, you look at your club and you have that mindset, you know, with Madrid, with Manchester United, like years, like, yes, Bayern won the Bundesliga, but it was just always disappointing because it's the Bundesliga. Like at this point, none of these teams want to compete with them. Like none of them want, like it literally Leipzig will sell their players because they don't care. Although they've been also developing. Yeah. Like Niko Kovac was like this dude. I mean, I think right now he's with Monaco, if I'm not mistaken. And he had like a good result last weekend, but like you had these guys that they were just like, oh, this guy's going to be the next thing. Meanwhile, you had like Thomas Tuchel who wanted to come and, you know, be your coach and you just told him to go F off and go to PSG. Imagine if he beats you in the Champions League last year. It's like this guy who flew to Munich to become the coach when you fired Ancelotti, flew to Munich to become the coach, beats you in the Champions League with your new coach. That would have been you can't live with that. But like,
yeah, no,
you have to be able to push your club forward and make the transition. And with United, like at some point, they just got to rip the Band-Aid. And if they need to sell players like Pogba, if they need to sell,
no.
You know what I mean? Like if they decide
you
that they
hit
need to,
Austin's heart, man.
No,
I don't think that
sell.
they should. I don't think that they should. But if the club feels like they need to do whatever they need to do, then they just need to just go ahead and do it. Like that's all it is. That's true. Bayern.
I guess you could say that. I mean, a lot of money goes in and out of Bayern and buying these players from Bundesliga sides and
funny
like
enough,
that.
by the way, Bayern does not buy the most Bundesliga players. Just by the way.
Oh,
there's like
sorry.
actual statistics behind it. They don't buy the most players. It's actually
he came
Dortmund.
ready.
He did come ready. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit those sweet spot
No.
there.
I just because that a lot of people will be like, oh, it's like Bayern buys all the Bundesliga talent. It's like they don't. Funny enough, like even Dortmund, like last season took like a bunch of players. Yeah,
right.
Like Dortmund last year took a bunch of players, guys that I wanted as well. But you know,
all right. Well, look. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to have another one of these shows next week after the UCL wraps up. We're going to be talking about who's going down to Europa League because there's definitely going to be some shocks in there. Hopefully it's not Real Madrid for Manny and Paul's heart's sake.
Paul, can you imagine if we now have to watch Real Madrid
in the Europa League?
That's going to be so awful.
Shoot me, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like I'd rather be knocked out so people can get fired.
This is like
I don't want to
even
watch
hearing about Man U play in the Europa League last year was insane. And just Real, I feel like Real's branding is so high up that it is so damn disappointing if you see them in the Europa League. It'd be such a big hurting to their branding.
All right, so with that said, we're going to get out of here. Make sure you tune into our show next week because it's going to be a good one for sure. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. We didn't even get to some of the stuff that we wanted to talk about today, but maybe we'll have to do some other shows. Like maybe we'll do a Bundesliga show with Kai, a Real Madrid show with Manny and Paul, things like that. Maybe we'll talk about Libertadores with Martin. But there's a bunch of stuff we're going to get into. Maybe Roy will be back next week. I'm going to give him some more homework, so don't miss out on that either. But listen, we had a good amount of viewers this entire time. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we will see you next week on Wednesday, probably.
Yes,
Wednesday?
for sure. We have to.
Yeah, guys,
it can't be before.
Do not forget to follow our new Twitter, 5R Football. I should have had or something here. My bad, guys. We'll be. I know that a couple of leagues were happening over the weekend. Now that we have the access to do it, we're doing a lot of game streams and whatnot, live tweeting and stuff. So if you guys just want to just join us for that, because I know sometimes 3-4 games happen at once. Because the leagues still continue on the weekend as always.
Yeah, so 5 Reasons Football with the 5 and then Reasons Football. So check that out. We just newly branded. We're tweeting there all the time. We have leagues from across the world, the Champions League. I'm talking U.S. men's national team on there. We're keeping up with all the updates on Twitter because, we can't do it in every
By the way,
single
guys,
show.
we should definitely preview that U.S. match against El Salvador next week.
I think I'm going to be there as a media member. So
awesome.
I'll be there.
Great.
Yeah, I'll probably be there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I think I'm going to be there. Fingers are crossed, but I think I'm going to be there, and we'll watch the MLS talent and see what they can do. But I think that's our show. Check out the Twitter account. Come back next week for all the updates, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.